Hi everyone, all my subscribers and that. Another update for you now. Just doing one now. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks since I've done one, but I got my birthday coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll probably have a few films for my birthday. So I thought I'll get you. It's quite a big update. I think it's about 40 films. Not many Blu-rays, just 4 Blu-rays, but the rest are DVDs. But so I'm surprised I'm a DVD collector still at heart rather than Blu-rays. I do get a few Blu-rays, but let's crack on with it anyway. Blu-rays first. Only the 4. Picked up off Amazon, 50p. Ghost Shark. Not watched this yet, but I did see a bit of it on Netflix before. It looked okay, you know. It was a very sort of low budget, sort of cheesy shark film, really. They kill this great white shark. I think it's a great white shark, and the ghost of it comes back to kill people. So it's like a ghost version of Jaws, I suppose, in some respect. But yeah, it's got a really good lenticular case. I don't know if you can see it on the video or not. Not sure. This is like sort of a 3D case, and I did buy it. It was only 50p off Amazon, so but you can't, you know, Blu-ray 50p. So there you go. And noticed as well, one thing I noticed about this film, it's got Sean Phillips in it, aka Cool Duder. So that's the first film I've actually got with Cool Duder in it. So you know, great. I will watch that. I'll get through because it looked like it would be a good fun flick. So then another shark movie, another one with a 3D case. I did really enjoy this though. Cheesy as hell, but there you go. Sharknado, first Sharknado. It's a bad movie, but also very, very good one at the same time. Really over the top, but it's quite action packed. Got a lot of action in it. There's a bit of ropey CGI in it. Some of the CGI is good, some of it's a bit ropey, but it was really, really entertaining. Good, entertaining movie, and I'll probably end up getting the second one now, I think. So after seeing that one, but another one I got as well, Zombie Hunter. Another Blu-ray picked up for a couple of £. It was really cheap. Not that keen on this one. There's some good gore in it, but I didn't really like the main character in it. The main guy who played the Zombie Hunter. Didn't really like him that much. I would have preferred if Danny Trejo was actually the zombie, because he kicked ass in that movie, so he was really good. But he wasn't in it that much. But I think it would have been a better movie if Danny Trejo was the actual zombie hunter in that, because he did kick ass in that, his character. But I didn't really like the main character in it. I think he sort of, I don't know, he sort of spoiled the movie for me a little bit. So, but yeah, it was some decent gore in it. I mean, I only paid a couple of quid for it, so I can't grumble. But I mean, it wasn't great. So, and the last one, which I haven't watched yet, The Apparition, another Blu-ray. That's the last of the Blu-rays. I've seen the trailer. The trailer looks like it'll be okay. You know, it's not whole. You know, I'm not expecting much of this, but I'll check out and see what it's like. Now the DVDs. This one I watched last night, and I was a little disappointed with it. Actually, I'd seen Septic Man. I think the makeup was pretty good. There's some good sort of yucky moments in it and that. But the plot there wasn't much plot in it. I didn't find. It was basically a guy. He was sort of hired to clear the sewers out. There's something wrong with the water. All the water was contaminated, and this guy went into the sewers to try and find the root of the problem. Basically, got locked into like a septic tank, and there was this like mad sort of this mad person who lived above, and he had like this big sidekick, like big giant guy sidekick, and they basically locked him out there, and they wouldn't let him out, and he started to mutate and stuff, and basically the whole plot was him trying to get out of the septic tank, but. I think if they made a sequel, the sequel could be really good, because it did leave it open for a sequel. If they do make a sequel, I'll check it out, but it was a bit slow in parts, that, so. Another one I've been after for a while. I'll wait to get it at a good price, and Harkson, which is Witchcraft Through the Ages, and this version is a tartan DVD, and I've only watched the actual original Harkson. Right? There is actually another one. It was Witchcraft Through the Ages, 1968. It was the same movie, but it was cut down. I did down for running times on it. So the original one was 105 minutes. This one's only 76 minutes. And it was like narrated by William S. Burroughs, the later one from the 60s. But I've only watched the original 1920s version. But it is a brilliant, brilliant movie. More documentary, telling about witchcraft, mainly through medieval times and that. But some great makeup effects and that for the time as well. For 1922, there's some really, really good scenes in it as well. Definitely recommend getting this. It's probably one of my favourite, one of my top 5 silent movies I think I've seen. But it is more documentary style, like you say, but there's like dramatised scenes in it, and really great. I did really enjoy that movie. And this version, it has got the 1960s sort of re-release on it, and it's got the original 1920s version on it. And there's also different soundtracks on it, which was good, but one had like an electro soundtrack, which didn't really suit it. But there's about 4 soundtracks for the original, and then like 2 or 3 for the second. So that was a good release, that one. And next one I picked up a Trauma one, which I have seen it before, but it was a really bad sort of bootleg VHS copy, so I thought I'd pick a proper copy of it up. It's Bloodsucking Freaks, the director's cut of that. It's not a bad movie, you know. It's very low budget, and I think it is. I think for the time it would have been quite shocking. It is quite tame now, but I think for the time it come out, it would have been quite a shocking movie. But yeah, watch it. It's not bad. It's like, you know, it's a sort of a not a bad trial movie, not one of the best, but it was okay. Another one I did really enjoy. I thought it was a brilliant movie from the 50s as well, which is not my favourite era, funnily enough. But Night of the Demon, which I'd never watched, and I heard so much about it, and it's known to be a classic. And I thought I didn't really fancy it, to be honest. I read the story, read the sort of plot in the back. I did not really fancy it. It's made in the 50s. It probably poor. It was absolutely amazing movie. There's tension in it. It's really creepy in parts. And this version. It's an American region one. It's got Curse of the Demon and Night of the Demon. It's the same movie, but Curse of the Demon was like a cut version that was out in America. They renamed it Curse of the Demon, and then it was shortened by about 15 minutes or something. But the full version's on it as well. The full version of Night of the Demon, and this was absolutely brilliant. It was like one of them sort of occult films about there's this guy, I think his name's Carswell, and he's like a satanic leader thing, and basically he sort of puts a hex on people. Basically, he puts like curses people, and this demon comes after them. And this guy here, he's like a skeptic. He goes to sort of prove there's no such thing, and he ends up getting sort of hexed by actual Carswell himself, and he has to you know, try to break the curse and that. It's really good. I hadn't seen it before, and I was really surprised how good it was. Really good movie. One that does get talked about quite a bit, but I still haven't watched it. I really must get to watch this because I do love them. But it's The Tomb of Lugia, which is another Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe adaptation. A lot of people say it's the best, Edgar Allan Poe adaptation that there is. I've not watched it yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. It's only come a few days ago. I've not got to watch it, but yeah, this supposed to be really good. This one is, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Penny Pickup of Amazon, Theatre of Fear. Looks pretty good. It's got a weird demented clown on the back, so I look forward to that. It's a British film supposedly, but not really heard much about this. I've seen it in a couple of people's collections, but it's not spoke about. But I'll definitely check it out because I do like sort of the carnival-y, clowny type films. So. Jess Franco's Demoniac. I've not watched this yet, but it's pretty notorious, this film. A lot of people have sort of... I know this is going to be heavily cut, because I know the original uncut one was supposedly like, very strong, quite bad one. Another one now. I got this because I was intrigued about Bollywood horror. It's one of the few horror sort of genres I've never watched. So I sort of picked this up, really cheap. The Ghost Atma, or Atma, however you pronounce it. But this is a Bollywood horror. I've not watched it yet, but I've seen the trailer, and it looks, really interesting. It's like a usual Bollywood thing. It's got Bollywood scenes, it's got singing, dancing, and that in. But some of the horror looks really effective in it. So I'm definitely going to check that out. But it could be a new genre I could sort of discover, really, because I've never seen a Bollywood horror film, so that'll be interesting. Another I bought now, Brides of Blood. Picked this one up because I've got the other two in the Blood trilogy, but I haven't got this one, so I have not watched this one yet. I watched the other two, I did enjoy them, they were cheesy and cheap, but look forward to watching that one. Not watched it yet, but this one I did watch. I've seen it before anyway, but yeah, a Hammer film, To the Devil a Daughter. Another occult thriller sort of one, occult chiller. One of Hammer's sort of most successful films, I suppose this was. There's a really good documentary on it, and they said it was financially one of the most successful films. But this is a sort of... They've sort of gone through a lull, I think, when this come out. And sort of a couple of years after this film came out, I think it was sort of the end of Hammer. But it was a really good film. I know a lot of people criticise the ending on that, but I did really enjoy that movie. It was one of the better of the later Hammer films. Blood Surf. Not watched this one yet. Don't know anything about it. I know it's about killer crocodiles, but I think I've seen it on TV years ago. Not 100%. One I think everyone's heard of. I've sort of actually bought it now. Wolf Cop. It's in the... I've got a nice slipcase with the same one, but yeah, it's always is, isn't it, with the UK ones. But yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Really funny as well. Hopefully they'll make a sequel, because they could, they could make this into a franchise easily. It was a really, really good movie. I'm glad they picked it up. I was going to get it on Blu-ray, but it come up really cheap on DVD, so I thought I'd pick up one DVD instead. Another one now. Another cheap pickup, Witch House 2, Blood Coven. I haven't watched this one yet because I'm trying to pick up the first Witch House first. But they're sort of well known. I'm not sure who directs them. I don't know if they're Full Moon films. I don't think they are. No, J.R. Bookwalter directed it. He's in a few. I've got a few of his films. But yeah, I always thought the Witch House films were Charles Band Productions, but I don't think they actually are. But yeah. Jess Franco one, Vampire Killer Barbies. I think it was one of his later films. One of the 90s, 96 maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm not watching it yet. I saw the trailer, it looks okay. So I am getting into Jess Franco a little bit more than I used to. Another film I've been after for a while. I watched it as soon as it come on. I really look forward to seeing it, The Legacy. I watched it on TV, it was on TV ages ago, and I really liked it. I couldn't think what it was, because I remember the film where he kept trying to escape from the house. He was driving away from the house, and everywhere they turned, he ended up back at the house again. I was thinking, what was that film there where they never escape the house? And then I found it eventually, The Legacy, and I do like this. It's a really, really good film. Really good. Another one I really enjoyed. The one I've been after for a while, but this was going for ridiculous money at one time. I think I managed to pick it up for about £4 at the end. Eyes Without a Face, which is like a French horror film from the it was 1960, I think. I would say it was 59 or 60. I think it was 1960. But yeah, brilliant movie. There's a doctor ends up in a car accident. I think he disfigures his daughter. She basically has no face and that, and he keeps trying to. He sort of pretends she's dead, and then he sort of tries to do skin grafts on the face to try to make, so she can go out and things. And she makes her wear this mask for a bit, but then he finds like sort of donors for the face. Well, not donors. They end up killing people and that, and taking the face and grafting it onto his daughter. And the face takes for a bit, but then it starts to deteriorate, and she has to wear the mask again. And basically, it's like a story about how he's trying to, fix his daughter's face and that. But really chilling film. I did really enjoy it. It was a great movie. Another one, a bit more of a comedy one. The Fearless Vampire Killers, the Roman Polanski one from '68, if I'm not correct. It was around about then. 66, I think it was actually. A little bit earlier than I thought. Yeah, but this is like a spoof of Hammer horror. Basically, that's basically what it is like spoofing Hammer films. But it's really good. I did enjoy it. It's a good, fun film. Another Hammer film, Evil of Frankenstein. I managed to pick this up quite cheap, so this is starting to go for quite a bit of money again now. But managed to pick it up quite cheap. I think it was a second Frankenstein, I think that one, after The Curse of Frankenstein. But yeah, not a bad one. I did watch that. It wasn't my favourite one, but it was okay. One a lot of people have got in their collection as well, I think, this one. Mad Ron's Previews from Hell, which is really, really cheesy. Cheesy as hell. I mean, it's like a ventriloquist sort of presenting it. Ventriloquist with a zombie puppet. And he shows a lot of film trailers, quite a lot of good film trailers in it. And there's a lot of films I've got, a lot of films I've never even heard of. And some films I'm probably definitely going to get after watching the trailer. So, it's a good little sort of almost like a reference guide, if you like. So, another one I've seen quite a few people have in the collection don't talk about. I did really enjoy this actually, but Dee Snider's Strangeland. Dee Snider plays like a guy called Captain Howdy. He's like into piercings. He's like sort of fetish guy, he's into piercings and things like that, body art and tattoos and everything. And there he's on the back there, like he's all pierced and stuff. And Dee Snider actually played that character really well, surprisingly. But because I didn't think of him as an actor, but he was pretty good in this. It's hard to describe the movie. He's like a serial killer, but he doesn't kill people. If that makes sense. He sort of tortures them as such, like he cages people up and pierces them and things like that. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I did enjoy it. I was surprised with that one. Classic one now. There's Dead of Night from I think the must be 1945 or something. I'm not actually 100% with that one either. Yeah, 1945. I thought it was something like that. Really, really good anthology. Brilliant anthology, that. Some good funny bits in it as well. The really, really scary, creepy bit with the dummy as well. That was a really creepy scene at the end with the dummy. But yeah, really, really good anthology, that. Barbarian Sound Studio. I did watch this actually. A friend of mine recommended this because it's not really a horror though, really, as such. it's about a guy who does sound effects for a horror film, and he goes to Italy, and he doesn't realise he's doing sounds for a horror film and that, and he's basically, he starts going a bit crazy in there. He's like, I don't know if you've ever seen Evil Ed. This is sort of reminds me of like Evil Ed, but without any violence. It wasn't violent. It did run more like a drama, but it's basically like a guy who's slowly losing it. He didn't want to be there, and things was going wrong, and it was more like a breakdown of a guy's sanity, I suppose. But it was a great, and that Toby Jones, it was a great film, but the Toby Jones was brilliant in that as well. Really, really good performance. But it's not really strictly horror, a bit more psychological, and it is, you know, sort of doing sound effects for a horror film, so it has got sort of little horror-y elements in it, so I'll pop it in there. But yeah, it was a good film. I wasn't amazed by it, but it was decent. So I picked this up, Sangre, or Sangre, however you pronounce it. But yeah, I watched this as well because I was intrigued with this. It's one of them films I'm not sure if I like it or not, because there were some amazing scenes in it, but there's also some stuff I didn't know that the hell was going on, and it's a lot of people call it like an art house horror film, and I can see what they mean with that, because it was really strange. And there was like, I was watching some scenes that were really brilliant, like the bit where his mother like ends up getting her arm chopped off or something at the beginning of the film. It sort of explains how and why and everything, but she ends up getting her arm chopped off. Well, he starts off in like a mental asylum, and he breaks out and he sees his mother. Obviously he's got no arms, but then he starts becoming the mother's arms. So she starts ordering him to kill people, so he's there behind her with like his hands doing all the killing. Well, it's a really strange film, but some great scenes in it. It was also very puzzling as well in places, but it's one of them films, you know, it's very, very unusual. So I think if people like unusual films, it'd be great. But me, I was borderline. There's some scenes I liked, some of it I didn't like, but yeah, it's worth picking up. A great Hong Kong one there, Mr. Vampire. It has a really, really brilliant like vampire comedy from the I think it was from the 80s, but it was really, really good. I do sort of like a lot of these sort of Asian vampire comedy films. This is really, really brilliant. Definitely one to add to the collection. Really, really good movie. Pick this up as well. This is a lot like Mr. Vampire actually, but like a serious version. It's a riga mortis. This was on my wishlist for ages, and I can only see it on Region 1, so I'll put it on my wishlist on Region 1. Went away for the weekend, went into Asda, and I found this in Asda. I think about £7 in Asda, so brilliant. I picked this up. I think I watched it the same night. A brilliant, brilliant film. It is like very much like Mr. Vampire to me. It's like a very serious version of Mr. Vampire. It's got like the hopping vampire bit in it. It's very, very dark, and it's quite a depressing film. It's deadly serious as well. I mean, there's no light relief in it at all. But if you like really atmospheric sort of vampire films, very dark ones, really, really well worth picking up. This is a brilliant, brilliant movie. I think it's brilliant Chinese, like just like Mr. Vampire it is, but very dark, very serious. But it was great. I really enjoyed it. I picked this one up here. It's like a trauma triple header. And I bought this for Frostbite or Wrath of the Wendigo because I really like that film. I've seen it a lot of times. I think I had like an old VHS copy of it taped off telly or Bravo or something like that. But yeah, don't know anything about the other two films. It's The Nightmare Never Ends and Igor and the Lunatics. But Trauma 3-pack, it was good value to money, about, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, 5 or maybe, something like that. But I really wanted this Frostbite. I'm glad I've got that. Frostbite or Wrath of the Wendigo. The original Region 1 standalone release is like, cost like stupid, like £25 for a second-hand copy, so I just picked this one up just for that. But yeah, I'm not sure about the other two films, but I really like Frostbite or Wrath of the Wendigo. That is a really good cheesy horror film. I think it's from the 90s, but it's got a feel of an 80s film. It is really good. So the newest film this one come yesterday, so I've obviously not watched it yet, but I had seen it before, Cameron's Closet. So I've not watched it for ages. I can't really remember what it was about. I do remember this little lad in it, but yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I know a lot of people have got that in the collection, so another cheap pick up from Amazon here, another penny one. I think Wes Craven produced one, I think it is. Oh no, Wes Craven actually directed the Wes Craven film, so it was actually a Wes Craven movie. I watched the trailer, it looks okay. Looks like a run-of-the-mill sort of ghost story or something, but Piranha II The Spawning. Now, I did have this on VHS years and years ago, but it's called Piranha II Flying Killers. I think this is the one that was directed by James Cameron, but he took his name off it. So he obviously didn't like the film or something. But yeah, I think James Cameron actually directed this one. It's actually got James Cameron on the back, but I think someone took over it. He thought it was disowned the film, and I think someone finished it off or something. But yeah, Piranha II, not as good as the original, but yeah, another one I'm glad I picked up. This was on Amazon. Desert Island Classics release of The Freak Maker. These things, I think these are like bootleg type sort of company because you know, it's not a great looking case and that. But when I put the disc in, it actually said DVD-R when I put the disc in. So it's obviously like some sort of bootleg company, but you know, they got the proper cover on it and that. It looks, you know, it looks decent. It's a proper like company, but it is just on DVD-Rs. But it was a brilliant, brilliant transfer for the film. It's like one from the 1974. It's the one with Donald Pleasance. He's like makes, I think he creates these freaks or something in it, doesn't he? He makes like man-eating Venus flytrap characters and things, and he's set in a carnival. Tom Baker's in it as well. He plays this like deformed guy and that. But I did really like this film. It's very, very quirky and unusual for the time. But yeah, I really wanted. It's a good one to get because I don't think it's out on DVD in the UK at all. It'd be good if Arrow could release it or something. But another one of these from the 80s I got. Really like this movie. Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowler Armour. I was going to get the 88 films release of this, but this one was like really cheap. I managed to pick this up for like £3, I think it was. So I thought I'll pick this version up. This is the proper full moon release of it. A little bit of a grain to the DVD, but perfectly watchable, and it was good to see this movie again. I did have this on VHS as well. It was released on the colour box label. It was called The Imp though in the UK, and I was after that film for ages and I could never find it. I kept typing on Amazon The Imp, and then went to the Internet Movie Database, typed in The Imp, and then this come up, and it is the one that says a little imp dude on the back there. So, but yeah, so glad I picked this one up. It was a really good cheesy film. Another one I was really glad to get. The 2-disc 20th anniversary edition of the Monster Squad. This is a great movie, this one. I mean, it's got the, you know, sort of same sort of cover again. This one's got a bit of a metal shine to it, but this is a brilliant movie. One of my sort of favourites as a sort of a late teen. I did watch this on video in my late teens. I really loved it. But brilliant movie. I think it's like Dracula, Frankenstein, like swamp creature in the swamp and that. All these monsters get resurrected and it's up to like, the kids to stop them. It sort of reminds me of like the Goonies with monsters. It's a great movie though. Elvida's Haunted Hills, which was like the second Elvida film. She did Elvida Mysteries to the Dark, and then this was like another, like a spin-off of that. But this is like a spoof of the Edgar Allan Poe films from like the 50s and 60s. Really enjoyable movie though. I did really like it. It was great. The silent version of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. This was okay, you know. It was a bit more drama-y, and it's not the best version, I don't think, of the Hunchback. But it's another silent film to add to the collection, and the thing I found with this, it's a little bit over long. It was about 105 minutes long or something, so it did drag on a little bit at times. But Lon Chaney was really good in it. He had a really good performance in it, and there's great sets and that in it. But it did seem to drag a little bit. But yeah, it was a good film. It's decent. Jess Franco's Devil Hunter, but I really like the cover. It was a great cover on that. Film not so good, but it's Jess Franco, so yeah. But there's it's like a bit like a cannibal sort of film, I suppose. Really, sort of call it. But there's one guy in it. The creature, and he's like a bloke with ping pong balls glued to his eyes. It's really cheesy and cheap. Sort of like loads of nudity in it, quite a bit of gore, and yeah, it's the usual Jess Franco stuff. But if you're into his stuff, it's a great movie, you know. So next one on the list. This is a series. Filmed, I think it was about 91, 92. 4-part miniseries that was on I think it was ITV. Chimera. It was quite a good little sale. It was about quite a long time. It was like four 50-minute episodes or something. But each episode sort of ended on a cliffhanger, like, yeah. But basically, they create this character here. She's like a half human, sort of half hybrid. You make it using DNA and things like that. It escapes and send this guy out to get it back. Obviously things happen on the way, people die, and I think sort of the little kid sort of takes to this sort of ape creature and sort of looks after it and things there, and you know, it's really good. It's a good series. I hadn't seen it for a while now, and it has aged a little bit, but it was good to see it again. I did have it on VHS. I taped it on TV when it first came out, but it was good to see it again, and you know, it has aged a little, but you know, it was a decent show. And another one now, one that caused a lot of controversy when it was released, Ghost Watch. I think it's filmed by the BBC, Halloween '92, if I remember right. But there's a lot of controversy with this. I think the thing with it, it was done in a documentary style, and people who were tuning into it didn't realise it was a drama. Even though it had BBC Screen 1 drama written on it when it come on, but I think a lot of people didn't twig, or people switched over after the credits and started watching it. And yeah, it was done in a documentary style. It was like supposedly a haunted house. They went into this this like council house, and the people had problems with a ghost called Mr. Pipes, because they called him that because they thought it was the noise of the pipes banging, and it was actually a ghost. And there was a film crew there trying to capture the ghost. It was all faked, obviously, but a lot of people turned on, thought it was real. The show had a lot of complaints, thousands and thousands of complaints it had in an hour. It was the most complained about show in BBC history. People saying it was too scary. People had to go to council after watching it. It was a lot of controversy. All the papers were slamming the BBC for showing it. But it's a great, really great, creepy sort of, one-off drama. If you can pick it up, it's definitely worth seeing. And supposedly this was the inspiration behind the Blair Witch Project, because the director of the Blair Witch Project, supposedly what I've heard, he sort of saw this and based the Blair Witch on that. So I don't know if that's true or not, but a few sources have sort of said that. I've seen it on the internet and looked at it, and a few sort of people have. It's never been verified, but that's a good more bit of history for it, really, I suppose, if that's true. But yeah, this was a good series. If you can pick it up, well worth picking up. Get the British Film Institute version if you can now, because this released by 101 Films, very bare bones, just the show and chapters. But if you get the British Film Institute version, there's a lot of documentaries and all sorts on it. So I probably recommend getting that version. But pick this up because it was cheap. So but still, great watch, that film. More of a drama show, but. And also I had a nice present for my wife and kids for Easter. I should have had this in the last update, but I forgot to include it, so I'll sort of show it now. It's a bobblehead figure, which is Pinhead, Hellraiser. Brilliant character from a great film series. Well, first half of the film series was good anyway, but yeah. Brilliant character though. So much detail in it. And actual proper pins in it as well, proper metal pins in it, which was really good. But so good, that really great detail on it. Sort of guards my DVDs as well. So yeah, but brilliant present. Well pleased with that. So there's the update anyway. Hopefully I'll have another one in a few weeks' time. I've got my birthday coming up, like I said, soon. So I'll probably have a few bits and bobs to show for my birthday as well. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers, and thanks for sticking with me. It's been a long video. This one's been like 25 minutes, maybe more. So if you've all stuck out to me, thanks for that as well. And I'll see you in about a month's time or something. Hopefully a little bit earlier. So, yeah.